It's good afternoon now, and welcome to the Grow Old Disgracefully podcast. Ruth, how are you doing today?
I am very good. It's beautiful weather here in Devon, like proper warm. I want to get outside. What about you?
Um, it's beautiful as in sunny, but it's not warm, it's cool. It's one of
I
those
didn't.
kind of autumnal days where it's nice and sunny, but it's not, I think our maximum today's been about maybe 11 degrees.
Yeah, it feels what I don't know what the actual temperature is here. I'm gonna look it up because I just went outside and it felt warm, which surprised me. So I'm having a little look. Oh, it
Well,
says 17
apparently it's
degrees.
Apparently it's 15 here actually, so I'm wrong on that one, but it feels a bit chillier than it has been.
Yeah, yeah. I think if the sun went behind a cloud for a bit, I'd suddenly get cold. It's only because I was
Yeah,
in the sun, out the wind, that type of thing. Oh, there you go. That's very British of us to
v-
chat about the weather at the start of a
very
podcast.
much so. How's your week been so far?
I'm losing track of days, and I think what happened
It
is
is
that
Wednesday, isn't it?
it is Wednesday, but I've been getting really muddled because I think I was filming workouts on Friday afternoon, and I don't know if you ever do this, if you're like recording or doing demos and so on, you forget how much those workouts can take out of you. So then I did my run on Saturday and it was slow. It felt hard, but after filming the workouts, that was understandable. And on Sunday, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I was like, probably I'm just tired. Just could
Yeah,
be
I'm
tired.
broken.
Yes,
I'm
I think it
broken.
was general fatigue, and then I think because my head had been in work mode, perhaps I just needed to chill a bit. So there we go.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
What's
yeah, yeah. What about you?
what have we been up to? Not very much. Just working away. Still working on this admin shite that I'm doing at the moment. So,
He loves
uh,
it really. It will be
honestly,
so worth it. That's what.
I hate paperwork. I hate having to deal with technology. So I hate PowerPoint. I hate Canva. I hate Excel. I hate all of it. It's just
Do you know, I quite
bollocks.
like those things. And weirdly,
It's so
because I'm
much
not very
easier if I just
patient.
had a big A board with a big piece of paper and I could just write on it. So much
See,
easier.
I used to, well, years and years ago, like before I went to uni. So after going to college and going to uni, between there, I actually went and worked for a bit. And I worked in social services. I don't know if many people know this, but anyway, it was like the age of 18 to 21, I guess, that sort of age. And because I was younger, I think I was like considered a genius with technology at that stage. And I was like all over the Excel. I wouldn't have a clue now, but back then I'd be like, oh, do you want me to work that out for you and do and back then it was different, of course, because the systems were different. But yeah, I used to quite enjoy that. Okay.
Yeah. Not
Not for you.
not for me. Not for me at
Can you
all.
find a way of gamifying it, Andy, and making it more fun?
No.
No.
I don't I can't even open my mind to that thought process because
Eat the frog then.
no.
It
Just
will just get it
just
done.
no. Just
Just
put on my big boy pants and get it sorted.
do you know? Often it's like the jobs we make them seem so much bigger in our head, don't we? Like I find that if I've got a job that I know won't take me very long, I'll often leave it because I know it won't take me very long, but then just sits on my mind. And actually, I'd be better off just getting it done. Just
Yeah,
get
that's
shit
it.
done.
I think
But yeah.
sometimes you get that one where you're got so much to do that you end up procrastinating, don't you? You're
Oh,
just like,
100%.
I've got so much to do. Oh, I could find something else to do though.
So I call it, sometimes I call it productive procrastination, where there's jobs that need doing, but you go and do something that still needs doing, but maybe not quite as urgently. So you're
It's
being productive, but you're still
it's nowhere
procrastinating.
near as important. Yes,
I did that this morning.
regularly.
This morning I found myself doing this job and it was a job I just created. And it's one that will need doing at some point, but it's not on my list of to-dos. I just added it in. I was like, ooh, and I just started going down this kind of path, but there we go. There is actually a TED talk by Tim Urban, I think he's called. and it's about procrastination. And the reason I like it, he's just talking about procrastination, but he calls it playing in the dark playground. Like
Mm.
it doesn't feel very nice when you have all those things and you're putting them off. So you go and play and you do other things, but you never feel quite good. You're playing in the dark playground. And then if you just get shit done, you'll be able to play with that freedom and the light playground. But it's quite a nice TED talk. I don't normally, well, I occasionally listen to TED talks, but that one was good because it was nice and efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yes.
we go.
It's always good.
Have you got any questions, Andy? If not, would you like to
I've
just chat
actually,
about?
I've just
Yeah.
actually chat GPT'd what my chat GPT question was. What are there any interesting questions in the fitness industry this week? So it's given me 10. So let's run through them. I think some of them are, I don't know if some of them will actually make any sense because I don't know how this works. Is the 3 by 3 by 12 wellness trend, which is a walk 3,000 steps, drink a third of daily water, and 30 grams of protein before noon, actually effective, or just a feel good morning busy work? Apparently, it was being trialled in a trend for a week and reported small benefits, but question how practical it is. I've got to be honest with you, 3,000 steps, 30 grams of protein, and a third of your
Is it,
daily water intake doesn't seem like
that's
that
got to be a
difficult to
morning
do by
thing.
lunchtime. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't
So,
seem it doesn't seem like it's difficult to do before
no,
lunchtime.
I actually think that that's probably quite a positive trend in the sense that it's
Yeah,
getting you started in a realistic way. So that sounds pretty good to me. Um, and it doesn't sound because the thing is, often people will just go and sit at their desk and get straight on with work, understandably, especially now they're working at home. And then before they know
yeah,
it, they've not moved. It's so easily done. So I actually think having a goal of getting in a bit of a walk, like that might take a conscious effort for some people, 3,000, and that's fine. So I would say it makes sense that it's going to report health benefits because those things will.
yeah.
Um, and that 3,000 steps is a great aim, or start where you are. Like I would be just like aiming to get a bit of some movement in first thing, whether that's even
Yep.
1,000 steps, just get up and moving, look to increase from where you were. But yeah, seems good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have
Your
said
thought?
that seems, I think that sounds pretty, so this is going to sound really, really off the cuff, but sounds kind of pretty standard, doesn't it? It's a kind of standard morning routine that most people would either do or benefit from doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you say to the people you coach, but if I've got people that haven't been doing much movement at all, I would say even just getting out and doing 5 minute walk or doing some form of movement is going to be better than nothing, or putting on
Yeah.
some music and just dancing, going wild, whatever you fancy, just movement.
Yeah.
We feel better for it. In fact, I was listening to a book recently, and it's something that we all know, but it's just the way they said it. And it was like, change is easier when we feel good doing it. And it's so true. If it feels really fucking hard from the beginning and you're having to really like punish yourself to do it. Like I know that for Andy, his workouts, they'll feel hard when he's doing them, but the motivation isn't there. He knows that they make him feel good. But if somebody else went into doing the workouts that you're doing, that would feel
Mm.
pretty hard and challenging to get started at, and they would be
Yeah.
unlikely to keep going. So we need to start feeling good and then it can build. But
Which is why you should always start your goals as being a positive thing rather than coming from a negative impact, a negative kind of aspect, isn't it?
the gap and the gain, Andy. Have you,
Exactly.
I know that you're not a big fan of reading, but I know you know about it as well. We're doing it as a challenge in my app recently, but it's the whole thing
Ah,
about if you have a weight goal, for example, you might feel like you've only succeeded when you get to that weight. Whereas
yeah.
if your goal is all of the things that you get with that, then all of the progress that you see along the way, so I want to be getting stronger, fitter, healthier. You start to see progress in your strength, you start to see progress and you're noticing it, then success is coming along the way. You're measuring progress and not the outcome. It's true.
Yeah. But that's the thing. We always kind of seem to get stuck on the end point rather than seeing. I hate using the word, using the journey, how you see the journey, because the journey is not just the end point. The journey is, you know, exactly as you said there, you may have a weight loss goal, but the fact that you're getting stronger, that you're healthier, maybe your blood markers are better, you're more active, so it means that you're able to spend more time outdoors with the kids running around. These are all things that also may not be the overarching goal, but will build up towards it.
I'm on a mission. I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm changing everything inside the app, and we're doing kind of a softer launch of that at kind of end of October. And I've been really thinking about messaging, and I'm like, I don't want it to be about just thin. I want it to be more than thin for that exact reason, because so many people think that it's thin that is going to make them feel better, but it's not. It's the way you get there and how you
Mm.
feel in the process. We'll say process rather than journey, so that Andy feels like he's not going to throw up. And doing it in a way where it's not all or nothing, right? As well.
Yeah.
Just I
Well,
don't know.
that's
I
it.
just
It's that same thing. It's exactly as you said about the sort of negative side of stuff, positive side of stuff. If I tell you it's going to be all or nothing for you to get to your goal, straight away you're in a negative space. If I tell you, right, you're still going to be able to live a life. It's going to take a little bit longer, but we're going to be able to enjoy life, and you're going to get to a goal a little bit further away, but it'll still be the same goal at the end of the day. It makes it such an easier place to start from.
It does make it easier. And the interesting thing is, for most people, they end up where they want to be quicker because they're not giving up like for periods of time in the
Yeah. Yeah, they don't
sorry,
fall off the
process.
wagon all the time.
Yeah. But it's really hard. I don't know how we can really shout that message because, like, there's a saying that I got told in business once, but I use it for fat loss a lot. It's sometimes we need to slow down in order to speed up. Like, we really need to go back to basics and doing what we can and then let things just happen, you know?
Mm.
But people want quick results, I think.
It's the whole thing though. If the faster you go at it, one, the harder it's going to be. The two, the more chance of falling off and getting things wrong is going to happen. Whereas if you just kind of mosey along, take your time, you can
Start where you are.
enjoy the process as you go, and continue to build on that. It makes it much easier and much more achievable. It's the old hare and the tortoise, isn't it?
Yes, indeedy. Yes. And actually, it applies to everything, not just fat loss. If you're thinking about going to
Yeah.
the gym and you can't lift, your form's not good enough to lift those heavier weights and you go straight in, you're going to get injured. If you
Yep.
want to train for a marathon and you haven't run much in a long time, if you start going out and upping your mileage quite significantly, quite quickly, you'll get injured and you'll have to give up. Like, slowing down at the beginning is the same with all of these things. You just need to start where you are. It's the way to make progress on your not journey.
Process.
Yeah, process. I use
Progress
journey
in the
now and again.
progress for your process.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at you with all the
There you go.
I'm good at
All
what's
the P's.
oh, it's a
Alliteration.
what there's
Alliteration.
that watch guy, isn't it? It says love your journey. I don't actually know much about him, but on Instagram he pops up occasionally, love your journey.
Yeah, I would
I,
clothesline him if I saw him.
I know. I was gonna say if you saw him, you'd be like, keep the
Love
watch.
your journey. And throw up at his
You
feet.
could. What are your other? I know you're not a big fan of functional fitness. I think that's one. But
Yeah,
was there any
I don't
other?
like the word functional training. Um,
I use it occasionally, and I'm going to tell you when people tell me that they were able, like this morning, I had a lady in a check-in who said that she was able to carry the shopping back up the hill home. That her husband had asked her to get stuff from the middle aisle, and I was like, functional fitness at its best, but I don't use it in
well,
training.
see that. Totally understand it. The reason that I don't like the word functional when it comes to training is because all training has a function. There's this kind of snobby arsed exercise weirdos that kind of pull out the fact that a leg extension's not a functional exercise because it's an isolation exercise. And if you want bigger quads, it's functional to getting bigger
Love
quads.
it.
Simple as.
I love a
Yeah,
leg extension.
yeah, and that's kind of. But again, it's it's the exercise snobbery bunch that kind of make that stuff. It's the same thing with the nutrition snobbery bunch. Those ones that are like have their fads and their juice diets and stuff. Half the stuff that they do, it's this holistic. Oh, let's all be all lovey-dovey and let's all get on the journey together. Shut up.
But what they don't realize they're doing when they're shouting like this is the only way is they're alienating or making people feel like that they can't do it at all. You know, it's kind of
Yeah,
like actually I can't fit that into my life. So what do I do? Nothing. And so there is always a middle
exactly.
ground. Here for the middle ground.
That's it. Exactly what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh, it's insane. Have you got another chat GPT
Yeah.
a question?
A viral TikTok wellness trends, helpful habit formation, or just hype with potential for misinformation. Um, a little bit of both here, actually, I think.
Okay.
The majority of stuff that I've seen that's come from TikTok is basically bullshit. But I know that there are quite a few respected um, people that are actually on TikTok that give out good information. But the problem is that it doesn't that because they are what I would class as being someone with good knowledge and is going to give you good information, they're very unlikely to get a viral video. So
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's some fucking idiot that's fucking doing something stupid that looks good on TikTok that all the people are liking the video, which ends up being the one that's got the most views, which doesn't mean that it's got potential for massive misinformation.
Maybe I need to go on TikTok more just to see these trends because occasionally I dabble and I'll go, I'll put up my recipe reel, but I don't go on there. And it seems like every time I want to find something that's viral, like a recipe reel, people go, oh, on TikTok. And I am clearly behind the times with this by many
Oh,
years.
I think I signed up for TikTok and then was like, I think within about 3 minutes, I was like, I'm deleting this because it's full of fucking idiots.
Well,
So yeah,
I actually had the algorithm got me too well. So originally I deleted it because I would go on it and it would just show me dog fails, cat fails, funny things like that. And I would get sucked in. So I was like, this needs to go. And then somebody told me to cross post recently and I kept forgetting. So it hasn't really happened. But I've got TikTok on my phone, but luckily I haven't got into the habit and I'm not enjoying it if I do that. I think maybe it's unlearned my algorithm and I'm getting just nonsense on there, which is
yes.
not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. There we
So
go.
yes, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I
Bum,
agree.
bum,
I
bum, bum.
nothing to add.
Couple of questions about guff. How will the rise of AI or health assistant apps slash algorithms change the roles of human coaches or trainers?
Well, I would imagine that a lot of people now can go and get advice from AI about what they need to do. But what you don't get from AI is a human touch. And I say that because I sometimes go on to ask questions just to see if how I've answered something is the same as how they would answer it. And they don't have that same compassion, or they do, but it's not sincere. I think knowing that a human is the person reading it just mentally and, it just feels better. Like I wouldn't have feel
Yeah.
accountable to an AI. I don't know about you.
Yeah, nah. I think what happened was obviously because of COVID, people needed to find a way to continue their training, and a lot of people obviously couldn't see personal trainers or coaches that they worked with, so they had to find a way to get around it. So thus came the rise of the online coach. Um, and whilst I think the online coach will continue to be there, similarly to how the actual in-person coach was always there, I actually think there'll be a swing back towards actually working with people again. So actually working with a coach or a trainer.
Yeah.
I think especially with the fact that it already looks like a lot of businesses are starting to push people back to working in the office more than 2 days or one day a week. Certainly up here, I know there's a few companies that are pushing for 3, 4 days a week in the office. I think that you'll start to see the swing back of people understanding that the human touch and actually working with somebody who can watch over their technique, be able to spot things that something like an AI wouldn't be able to spot is probably going to be, and fix it there and then is going to be. pretty advantageous towards your training or towards your goals at the end of the day.
I think that we have lost a bit of the human interaction that we get with people. It's why
Yeah,
that whenever I'm chatting to people online, I want them to know it's me that's talking to them. Because I think
yeah,
sometimes, it's easier to stay distant from someone that is online.
mm,
And with my
yeah,
clients, I want them to feel like they know me as a person, because being an online
absolutely.
coach, it could be easy to lose connection. In fact, that's always got to be a goal, hasn't it? To
Yeah.
keep a community feel, to keep a personal touch, because otherwise, why not replace us with AI?
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the one thing at the moment is obviously the benefit that we have is that, we have a vast amount of experience working with a whole lot of different people with different needs, etc., and being able to understand them, empathize with them, and help them forward. And I think that's something that I, I think that, exactly as you said, you kind of lose that when it becomes not real.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was just trying to look and see if I could find some other questions. I feel like my face is getting really hot and I don't know why. Do you ever have that where you just feel like you're burning up? And I put in fitness to a site called Answer Socrates, and most of the questions are around devices, actually, which I thought was weird with fitness. They're around fitness trackers, fitness devices, and
Mm,
scales that measure your BMI, which actually I will see quite a lot. I see people that will say, I'm really happy because my total body fat has gone down and blah, 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 and they're measuring at home. And I'm, take the wins where they are, and I'm not shooting down that. And, but they're so variable and they don't necessarily
yeah,
recognize changes in water weight and so on, that I just wouldn't rely on them. In fact, I remember they used to use them at the gym that I first started going to. And I think I was one of the reasons that they stopped using them, because I started strength training. I hadn't gained any weight, but I would go in, it would say I'd gained body fat, and I would feel
yeah.
completely demoralized. And they were like, no, but you can't have done. And actually, I couldn't have done, but it used to make me feel really rubbish.
Yeah, and I think but that's the issue that you have with these things is that anything that claims to be working out your body fat, I think there's maybe only, is it the body pod, which is
I think a
the
DEXA
one where you
scan
drop
can.
into DEXA scan and the body pod, I think are like the only two that are actually of any use. And the ones that you get, the problem the ones you get at home is number one, we don't know how they're we don't know how they're set up. We don't know what the algorithm is that they're working. Number two, they can be manipulated by being too hydrated or dehydrated. It can be how clean they are or how dirty they are. So if the folk in the gym aren't cleaning them, the sweat and the grease and stuff on folks' hands will dull the effect of the electrical impulse going through your hands. So you've got all these things that you've got to look at. There's so many variables, and also exactly as you said, is it more likely to? You've just got to look at it like anecdotally, like for yourself. You saw that it's been telling you that you're increasing body fat when you know that that's not the case.
It
So
couldn't have been.
you can straight away you can go that doesn't work. Straight away you
Well,
can say
I
that.
think it said I'd lost muscle mass or something, and had just started strength. Like there was just no way.
Yeah,
I mean, it was many, many years ago,
yeah,
but I remember now I can look back. But at the time, I was like, and then the PT was like, "We're not using this on you anymore,"
yeah.
because he was right to do that. He still is a great PT, but everyone was kind of using those things, and we were all younger, and we thought it was like a good thing, but yeah, there we go. Actually, Andy, I have typed in weight loss now as a question, and this is worrying because there are loads of questions, and they're mainly around like, can I lose weight without exercise? And the rest are all about injections um, and pills and drugs.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, and then can weight loss cause hair loss? Can it affect your periods? And the thing is, all of these questions: can weight loss affect hair loss? Can weight loss affect periods? Can weight loss cause this problem? That they can, if it's
Hmm.
extreme. If your calories are
Yeah,
so low that you're not getting the fuel that you need to be able to function well. And the fact that there's so many questions, I just worry that because obviously the weight loss injections have a place, 100%. And if you are going to take them or use them, sorry, then it has to be alongside the healthy habits and making sure you're getting what you need in your body. And I
Yep.
worry then seeing periods, hair loss, so on, that people aren't doing it along the healthy habits and it is impacting their health.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's just, it's, you look at it across the board, I think, and it's one of those ones where you sit and go, again, this is another rabbit hole that AI brings to the table, is the fact that you could be putting all this stuff in here and AI is not going to be able to. AI doesn't work out the fact that you're feeling vulnerable about your weight. It's just going to give you all the shit in the world, which makes you feel even worse. So kind of similar reason why you wouldn't use a body fat monitor, because it's, it's got the potential to, if your day is ruined by an increase on the scales, you don't use scales. We just work on how you look in the mirror, etc. And the one of the other issues with AI is the fact, I know that myself and you will look at any information that AI gives you in terms of the fitness, where you look at it with open eyes and go, cool, I'll take this, I'll take that. That maybe doesn't sound quite right, and work it that way. But the some general Joe who's not in the fitness industry and hasn't got the experience that we do will look at this and be like, oh shit, what's going on? So it could freak them out.
Yeah, and actually just for anyone that is using AI in any way, like I've seen stuff it's given me before. Like if I'm researching for a podcast and I'll be like, oh, I'll type it in there. And I'll be like, type it back in. That doesn't sound quite right. I've heard differently than that. And they're going, good spot, quite right. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. You're meant to be the one that knows all this. But I think sometimes it looks at old research or just certain research. And when you say, hang on a second, I found out this, it will go, oh, you were quite right. There's been some more current stuff on that. So then you really do have to fact check it because it's wrong, often wrong.
Yeah.
At the moment. I'm sure it'll get better, but it is often wrong.
Well, it needs people like us constantly putting information in for it to actually update itself. So,
well, that's why I always tell it that it's wrong, because I want it to learn for me, maybe it will.
I've just Googled some funny fitness questions. So here's 12 funny fitness questions for you. Number 1, if sweat is just fat crying, why is my fat still so happy?
If it's just, why is it still so happy? I mean,
because food tastes good.
Because food tastes good. This is the thing, right? So often we can say we've gone on a holiday, we've come back and we've gained a bit of weight. We've probably had fun doing it.
100%.
I mean,
Certainly
I think that.
Well, actually, maybe not, because I know a lot of people, when they have, for instance, like, they have a breakup or something like that, they end up jumping on the food and kind of eating to console themselves. I'm the opposite on that one. I'm generally don't eat very much and try and get more shredded. So I'm the opposite direction.
I think that actually, for me, we think that food makes us feel good, but there is always a point of diminishing return. Like it's like alcohol, everything. You can eat some chocolate and you'll feel good, and then you start to feel a bit like a bit sick. And I think it's often when we've got to the point that we're really hungry, and then we haven't registered it first. So we're better to have some, mindful chocolate at a time where you're not starving, than just reacting and picking at it. That's definitely how I'd feel. But you know what? Like, this has been coming up a lot. I saw a guy, he's brilliant actually. I think he's called Scotty is Fat, which is a weird social media name. But he was talking about body positivity movement and how people's perception of their body fluctuates. So expecting people to sit in either they want to be thin or their body positivity is wrong, because people are going to fluctuate with the way that they view their body. But equally, I think it's often that people approach a diet with this all or nothing mindset. Like, it's like, or the diets are sold. I'm not going to blame people, because I think that they're given these, like I give people targets, but I try and make it very clear that they are like what you aim for when you're focusing on fat loss, and that might not always be the case. But we go in thinking that these are the things we have to do perfectly to lose weight. And then if we can't manage that and we fail, we think, well, maybe this is the way am. So then I fall down the body positivity thing. But you're not actually feeling particularly body positive. But there is that middle ground that we spoke about earlier, which is you just make those changes that feel good and it starts to all happen. But he was really interesting when he was chatting about his feelings about his body. He's got a bigger body, but he's actually strong and he does yoga and he goes running. But he said it fluctuates. Sometimes he feels good about it and other times he doesn't so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
More funny fitness question.
Yeah, do funny. I'm going to pay attention to the fun now.
Do burpees count as cruel and unusual punishment? Yes, they do.
Yeah, yes, 100%. And squat thrusts, as in squat thrusts is in the one that you do in the bottom of the burpee. You know, that one where you just jump in and out.
Jump in and out, aye.
Yeah,
they can go fuck themselves as well.
Don't like those.
If I curl a slice of pizza 12 times before eating it, does it count as strength training? Only depending on what size the slice of pizza is and how much it weighs.
Is it in New York?
Yep, exactly. It's all to do with the size of it. If it's a 20-inch and it's
like a lot of things,
quite possibly.
100%. One in each arm.
You'll like this one. Why is running so much fun when you're not the only one doing it?
Because you're chatting.
True.
I mean,
but also I have to question the first part of that. Why is running so much fun? No. Why running is not so much fun is what it should say.
Do you know, I think there is a myth about running that you enjoy every moment of it when you're out and about. No. So when I set my goal, it's to come back feeling better than I did when I went out. Doesn't mean that I love every moment of it when I'm on my run. There's normally points where I'm like, what am I doing? And that's normally near the beginning.
I would see if I used that, I would get to the end of the driveway, which is about 10 feet long, and then be back in the house and be like, that's as good as I'm going to feel today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I think running for brunch is a really good tactic for that because you're kind of committed. And also where I live, we have to, the route I take to go into town, you have to go down a really steep hill. And the other day I realised I'd left something at home and I'm like, I'm not going back up there. I'm not doing that. So I just kept running. I was like, sod it, I'll be fine.
I'm not going. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll suffer. So it's fine. But yeah, I think running, maybe it's more fun with people. But it's the afterwards that's the fun bit.
When you're not running, exactly. When you've stopped. If abs are made in the kitchen, can I just live there and skip the gym? This is one of the fallacies. Abs are not made in the kitchen. They're made in the gym. They're uncovered in the kitchen. Done.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that one. Why do trainers always say last rep when they clearly mean 3 more?
See, I say 2 more, and normally if I say 2 more, it's because I've lost count. I go 2 more.
We're only used to counting between 5 and 10 reps. If anything more than 10 reps, and you're likely to do either 17 or 64, depending on where you're at. And also, we're liars. It's as simple as that. That's how it works.
I mean, I've been called out so many times for counting badly.
Listen, if one of your clients ever says this, all you turn around and say to them is, just think of the extra gains you're getting from those extra reps.
100%.
All that matters.
I have lied in other ways to clients. I had this one lady that I used to work with. She was lovely. But you get different people. You get the people that will always go almost a little bit too hard and you have to rein them back in. And then you have the people that you need to give a push. It didn't matter what I said to her. And she was a fit girl, right? But it didn't matter what I said to her. She'd always dread it. So and she would always go a bit slower. So I'd go, we've got four rounds of this on the rower. But if you do 3 really hard, then we'll leave it at that. And she was like, okay. And she'd go all out and we wouldn't do the 4th, but the 4th was never written in. It was only ever 3, so, and I think I'd tell her after a while, but I was like,
I like that. I like that. It's a good way to do it.
I know it's bad, isn't it? But there we go.
If I yell, lightweight baby, like Ronnie Coleman, will my PRs instantly go up? Yes, they will. If you shout, lightweight baby, and woo, that's your PRs definitely going through the roof.
Andy, we need to reference the actual legitimate science about swearing there. That it is shown to improve performance. Scientific studies have proven this. That's why Andy's so strong.
Exactly, because I don't stop swearing.
Yes.
Is stretching just yoga for people in denial?
Um, I mean, if you saw me doing yoga,
Oh, I think
oh
I would
my,
actually say for me it's the other way around. Is yoga just stretching for people in denial? I would say it's that way rather than stretching just yoga. I think yoga
I
is just
feel like
stretching for people in denial.
I feel like when I'm stretching, I can just go like stand on one leg and do my thing and then like awkwardly move to
Yeah.
the next thing.
So
Whereas yoga feels more
you're
flow.
just stretching. Why
I'm
somebody
just
called it
stretching.
yoga? Why
No,
somebody
but yeah,
called it
but I'm
yoga? For shits and
yeah.
giggles so they can make some money. It's just stretching. It's weird
But you do the
stretching.
flow, don't you? And you do a lot of balance and,
You can do that
defending the
stretching.
yoga.
I'm just
Hang on, hang on though.
it's stretching for weirdos.
What about yoga nidra, which is just like sitting and doing breathing exercise and so on, not
That's
stretching?
just meditate. That's just meditation.
Yeah, basically, I
Yeah,
think it is pretty much.
yeah.
Don't please if you're into yoga.
we're wrapping up turds and calling them something else here.
Right. If you're listening and you're really into yoga, the views on this podcast.
Are mine and mine alone. It doesn't mean that I think it's any less valuable to anybody, but it would work. It doesn't work for. I'm not allowed to go back to yoga. We've had this story on the podcast
Yes,
before.
we did it. Yeah.
I'm just angry because I'm banned from all yoga. I'm barred from yoga for life. I'm really
I know
gutted
it can
about
be
it.
brutal. Like there's different types, and because the yoga studio that I've been hiring to do the filming, they've got like Ashtanga, Vinyasa, uh, something beginning with H. They've got loads of different types, and apparently they're all different. Like some are really hard, and some are a bit more chill.
There's
Hatha yoga, yeah.
yeah, one of them's fallen off the reserve because of the what the guy that was behind it all did. So
Oh, really? Well, now I need
yes,
to know. I might have to Google that.
I
See, that
it's
sounds
the
like
one that
juiciness.
it's the one that begins with B.
Okay, Karen chatting.
He was a dodgy bugger. If walking to the fridge burns calories, can snacking be considered interval training? I would say it's
How
actually.
fast are you
I'd say
going?
it's. I'd also say it's probably more likely to be intra workout nutrition rather than interval training,
Yes.
especially if you
Ah,
then got to walk back to the fridge, back away from the fridge.
Andy, are you talking about the one that you do when you're really hot, by the way, with the yoga?
Possibly, I'm not sure. I just know that one of them's a dodgy dude.
I think they've changed the name of it. Yeah, it's got a
Um,
controversial background, it says. It's hot yoga, basically, I believe.
yes,
I think so. That's the one beginning with B. Oh. I don't know
yes,
what the
that's the
story
one.
is, but it says it's got a
It's
controversial
not good.
background.
It's not good. It's not
Oh,
good.
I can see.
Um,
Well, this might be one for reading after the podcast. Well,
yes.
that sounds like some productive procrastination. Is that even productive? That's just procrastination.
So next question: do we lift
Yeah.
weights or do weights lift our souls?
Ah, that sounds like people that are on the weightlifting journey.
Or on drugs?
Yes. I do often
Somebody
think that if,
smoking copious amounts of weed and decided to go, oh, my soul's being lifted by the gym. Which
do you know,
I get it, it is, but get a grip.
I mean, that you feel good after a workout most of the time, but
Absolutely.
I do think if people didn't understand the concept of weight training and they're like, what do you do? It's like I pick up objects and I put
Heavy.
them down exactly where I got them from,
Yeah. And I
not moving them.
I increase how heavy they weigh depending on how good I feel.
Yeah, and then I put them back down where I got them, hopefully, because hopefully you're putting those things away. But I get them out and I
If
put
you're
them back
not
away.
putting them away, have a word with yourself.
Yeah, well, saying that, I'm in my own little office gym and I can see that I've left my dumbbells out, but it is only me that's here. And I was working out just before the podcast. Well, a little bit before I went and had
Watch
lunch.
this as your husband walks in and falls over.
Yes, that could happen. But there's a few trip hazards around. And spiders, Andy, spiders. Oh my goodness. I had a curtain around my desk this morning. I looked up and the spider was big. And I was like, oh, he's very, very big. He's gone now, so he's somewhere in here. And then I look down to my left, and this one's still there. And there's another huge spider there, like the proper house
What
spiders, like.
what have you named them?
Well, I called one Harry because I always feel like Harry is always a name for a spider. I don't know why.
Steve. Steve
Oh,
the
that can be
spider.
Steve. Steve can still be there. I took a picture of Harry earlier, and because he was massive, like, and I put my husband's hand next to it. But I'm going to just show Andy. Hang on, can you see that?
Yeah, that's a sizable spider, to be fair.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
massive. It's massive. It's just, yeah, it was a
Do you
big
know do
spider.
you know
That was
what this
Harry.
is? This is the weird thing. So I don't mind spiders. I actually quite like spiders. Laura cannot stand them. I hate snakes. They
Yes, I remember that
get
about you.
they install the fear of God. If I actually believed in God, they install the fear of God on me. Um, yeah, snakes are a no. The nope rope, as you would
See,
class them.
well, I know because I remember because I was telling you I'd held that snake in Barbados, and you were like, nope.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty proud of myself, but it did start to slither, and I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure now it's moving, but it was fine. But with spiders, like it's there, got one there, and there was one there, and it was fine. But I wouldn't want them to crawl over me, like, I wouldn't be
So
picking it up.
there's a I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a Facebook page called let me have a quick look if I can find it. It's called Lazy Rabbit, right? It's like one of these ones that's got like loads of like funny pictures and memes and stuff. So basically what they did was they gave kids a picture of an animal and asked them to name it. And some of them are like spectacularly funny. So you've got a snake and the kids have called it a danger noodle.
Oh, I
A,
love
a,
that.
a skunk's called a fart squirrel. A fox is called
Amazing.
a forest corgi. A terrapin or
That can't have been
a
a
turtle's
kid, can
called
it?
yeah, a turtle's called Grumpy McSnapface.
Grumpy McSnapface. I could
An
say that
alligator,
about my husband sometimes. No, actually,
uh,
he's pretty good. He could say that about me, probably.
an alligator's an American murder log.
Yeah,
The best one, I think, the best one's the raccoon. It's called a trash panda.
I've heard that one before. I've heard Trash Panda. Is it? Did you say it's called Lazy Rabbit?
Lazy rabbit. It's a
God,
post from like back in July
oh,
2021.
I'll
So
try
they've
and
got a
find it later.
Highland cow. It's called a land manatee.
A land manatee.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
honestly, it's so funny. Um, the peacock's called a disco turkey.
To be fair, like
A,
they
a
shaking
Siberian tiger's called a danger zebra.
danger zebra.
Pigeons are called trash owls, and they've called a bear the death cuddle.
The dead. Well, we've heard it
Oh,
happen. They're
the
legit. These kids are smart.
ostrich is the pantless thunder goose.
They do look like they're not wearing pants, or like
Yeah,
superhero type pants.
honestly, there's if you Google it, like
I guess I mean in
animals given
trousers.
names by kids is like honestly, it's absolutely genius. Um,
I
our last funny question is DOMS proof of progress or revenge from the workout?
Oh, we talked about this in all seriousness recently, didn't we? Where we said
Yes, we did.
it shouldn't be to the point where you can't walk.
Do
And
anything. Yeah.
yeah, so if you yeah, we did go into it, but my thing is it's nice to have a bit of an ache sometimes after workout. It's like, ooh, hit the right parts, but I don't want
Yep.
it to mean that I can't do what I other things I want to do. If it's going to mean that I can't live my life as normal, then that's a bit too far. That happens occasionally, like, but not that often. What about you?
Yeah. That's yeah. I to be fair, I'm always in the camp of if I've got a little bit of DOMS, I'm like, oh, that was a good workout. Even
Yeah.
though I know that actually it probably isn't that good either way. It's not going to be big as it's not as big a bang for your buck as I expect it to be. But it's always nice just to have that feeling of that feeling a bit tender today, because it does make you feel like you've worked hard.
Yeah, it does, 100%. And I think like my husband has had a little bit of time off the gym, and he started going properly again recently, and he did hamstring curls
Thought you were to say
yesterday.
he was walking like he shit himself.
He really is though, and he's like, I knew these were gonna hurt because he doesn't love doing legs, and yeah, he
Yeah,
did the hamstring curl.
that's the best day of the week, doing legs.
I'm the same. I have to be honest, like I tend to uh do it so I have like an upper focus and a lower focus, but
Mm,
I'll put a bit of like I'll do a bit of upper and a bit of lower in each session, just a little bit like
yeah.
accessory wise. But even today I was benching, but then I'm doing reverse lunges. I'm like I'm adding in the shittiest of the lower body exercises as well. But I
What
just
hell?
quite
You could
like
have.
it.
To be fair, you could have went for Bulgarian split squats.
No, they're
You
on
went
another
part
day. I
time.
have those. They're Monday. I did have those in as well. So I was like, what
I've
am I thinking?
I've got a
I do.
couple of clients that are like, whenever I see Bulgarian split squats, I'm just gonna fucking text you and tell you you're a dick. I'm like, cool, cool,
I
that's
love
fine.
them. I actually
Oh, I
really
think
like
they're
them.
brilliant.
They are one of my favorite
I've got there's a
exercises.
here's a wee challenge for you, right? For your next set of Bulgarian
Oh
split
no,
squats,
don't
right?
say.
So just do a couple of like kind of easy sets, get the legs moving, and then you want to do uh basically like a pyramid up. So you do what is your maximum that you've done on your like your Bulgarian splits if you're using dumbbells?
If I'm using dumbbells, uh, I
Are you
probably
a
would
single
do.
or a double? Are you a single or a
No, I
double
do. I
dumbbell?
both have one in each hand.
Both hands.
So for how many reps? Just
Say tens.
10 reps.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably. I mean, I could probably do 20 kilograms. Like
Cool. So
maybe,
what you're
yeah.
gonna do is do a body weight set,
And that would be
do a
hard,
set
by the way.
do a set with tens,
Yeah.
then do a set with 20s. Then you're going to do a third set starting with 20s, and you're going to half it, or I would say half it, and do a drop set. So do
Oh
20
yeah.
kilos, then 10 kilos, and then basically, so do 10 reps for 20 kilos, 10 reps at 10 kilos, and then go failure at body weight and
Okay.
stick to the same leg. So do everything on your one leg first. So do a 20, 10 sets, 10 reps at 20, 10 reps at 10, and then as many as you can body weight and see what you get.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Like, okay,
But
I can see why your clients don't like it.
give yourself about 4 minutes rest in between your sets though. So before you change to the other leg, give yourself a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, because actually,
You'll
even
probably
just
because you'll need
holding
it.
that other leg, but yeah, sometimes I do front foot elevated split squats, which hit differently, but
Yep.
those ones you can feel it on both
Yeah.
legs as well. I've got adjustable dumbbells, which is really annoying for things like that. You know, they're not like the screw-on ones;
Yeah.
they're the ones that you drop in
Mm.
but I
And
need to
click.
get a new. Yeah, but I'm getting fed up with them because I just want to be able to just get the weight quickly.
Aye, fire through it.
But they go up. Those ones go up to 32 kilos, which is actually pretty good for an
That's
adjustable
decent.
one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, but they're getting old now. I've had them quite a long time. Andy, I was looking at this is the top questions on fat loss, and there's 4. And I think the fact is, what is the 3-3-3 rule for fat loss? So your chat GPT was right about that being a top
Is that
current search question. But the
3,000
other
steps,
a
a
third
intake
of
of
your
water, and
water,
30 grams of protein?
30 grams of protein, which I think that's great because I would always try and get that around that in my breakfast anyway. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a good goal. I just think that do it the protein bit, get it in your meals. This is the thing, like, and actually I quoted you the other day because my husband was like, "Oh, I just don't think I often will eat enough, you know, to build some muscle, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "I need to try and get some more protein in." And I was like, well, Andy's thing would be when you're having chicken, have a bit more chicken at your meal.
Yeah.
So just have a bit more of the protein.
It's genuinely simple as that though. Like it's not there's no magical spell that's going to get you to increase your protein. Although it's sheer simplicity. It's having 150 grams of natural yogurt rather than 100. It's having 200 grams of chicken rather than 100 grams of chicken. And obviously you'll need to look at your calories. If you're keeping within a set of calories, you obviously need to work them in as well. But increasing the source at the meal that you're having, 3 eggs rather than 2 eggs is a good way of getting an extra 10 grams of protein in straight off the bat. So yeah, it's but I think it's because we overthink it though, isn't it? It's like, oh, protein, oh my God, your
Or
first thought process is always protein shakes, or protein bars.
Or
What am I going to
yogurt,
snack on to
protein
get
yogurt.
my up? Yeah, to get it up. And you're like, well, you could do that, or the easier way to do it is actually just increase your source at your meal point, and that's the way it
And
works.
that then gives you a bit more flexibility, because what I find can
Yeah.
happen is that people will suddenly stop having fruit and veg because they want their snacks to be protein based. And actually,
Yes.
you can, if you're getting your protein in your meals, it does give you a bit more. If you're trying to track your calories, I, I, I mean, eat the fruit and veg anyway. To be honest, like within reason. Don't think I can eat as much of this as I want and shoving it down. But with it, like eat the fruit and veg anyway. But
Yeah.
I do find that when people are eating enough at their meals, and that includes plenty of protein, that's going to make you less hungry anyway. And then including fruit and veg at your meals as well. Like having balanced food makes fat loss easier because you're not constantly looking for, well, you're not so hungry, you're not looking for the next source of food coming your way. And I think that traditionally, especially at things like breakfast, we can end up relying on carbohydrates, which obviously we need, but we often will have like toast and jam or something, which again, you can have it, but just be aware you're not going to be full for very long. Like, how, just know, knowledge is power, just know it. And I would always try and get protein early. I know that you do it, you don't eat breakfast, but you still have like a shake and whatever after training, don't you? So you
Yeah.
still are getting your protein in the morning.
Yeah, I still get my protein. The thing is with stuff like that is it's for a lot of people it can just be things like ease of routine or ease of the sort of schedule of your day. So for me, I'm busiest in the morning, so trying to set up to sit down and eat probably isn't in my time frame for the time in the morning. It's I know I'm up at five into the studio, get some steps in, straight onto clients. I could have breakfast early doors, but I also don't want to eat at five
I
in the
wouldn't eat
morning.
at 5.
So
You'd be
I
hungry.
shake, I
You'd eat
shake,
loads.
yeah, I shake at 6 o'clock, half six, just before I start a client's perfect. It works nicely. And also, I don't have the thought process to eat in the morning anyway. So actually, I'm not hungry until lunchtime because my body's now like, oh, cool, it's lunchtime. We're going to have our first meal. Perfect. Let's get stuck in. So, yeah.
You've hit something that actually comes up quite a lot, because we will say eat breakfast often. But I remember working with a lady, like coaching lady years ago, on group coaching, and she was saying that she was annoyed with herself because she was just eating throughout the day. And it took a while, because group coaching, for me to like say to her, like, what time are you eating your breakfast? And she was eating breakfast at something like 4:30 in the morning because she had to be up that early. So she was eating
Mm,
breakfast then. And then because of the time that her husband got home, I don't think she was eating her evening meal until 7 o'clock in the evening. And then she was annoyed with herself for the snacking she was doing during the day. But the gap between breakfast and lunch was huge. And I was like, you know that you're going and doing that thing that early in the morning. Could you have breakfast, say, at like 8 or 9 o'clock then? That if that's the first gap. And she said it changed everything, because she was just thinking, because she got up, that was the time she had to have breakfast. And you
mm.
don't. Breakfast can still count. You can still have been up, but it's just making sure you're spreading those meals throughout the day, whatever way that
Yeah.
works for you.
And
Um,
it's a good way to keep your satiety levels in places, or satiety levels sorted. Because as you say, the hungrier you are, and also add that into being tired after a day at work, your decision fatigue clouds the brain, and you'll have no idea what you're doing, and you'll just reach for the easiest thing, which is sometimes the phone to order from Just Eat, which isn't going to work into your goals. So, yeah,
yeah.
it's getting the structure in place that works for you, and as you're able to settle into.
And there also seems to be, just before we go, a lot of questions about how can I lose, and these are genuinely search terms. How can I lose 5 kilograms in 7 days? How can I lose 10 kilograms in 7 days? Please don't do that. If
Chop
please,
off a leg. Chop off a
yeah,
leg.
it won't be body fat. If you are
No.
managing to lose that, it won't all be body fat. There'll be some, of course, but
And you will also feel like a sack of shite.
yes, yeah, please, because
It's
and that's
not
just
going to be
going to
fun.
affect. Yeah, it's going to impact your relationship with food. You're probably going to gain more weight. Like, please don't do
It's
that.
going to
If you are
impact your
fine,
relationship with people around you because they're going to
oh
fucking hate you.
yeah, what did you call it? The alligator named by kids, the snappy.
what was it? The American murder log.
No, oh no, I'm thinking of the
Oh,
crocodile.
the turtle was Snappy McSnapface.
Maybe that would be what you become, Snappy McSnapface.
Yeah, I think you probably become an American murder log as well. You
Yeah, I mean
become one
that's
of
the thing.
those.
You're not going to be doing much exercise because
No,
your body will try and conserve energy as much as it can.
yeah,
Again,
your performance in the gym will be shockingly bad, if at all. Even if you get there at all, your sleep will go to shit. It will be all over the place.
our
Yeah,
bodies will
it's
try and
not.
yeah, conserve.
Yeah, and it's you know it's not. It's difficult enough to do that over to lose 5 kilos in a month. Never mind a week.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I find if somebody said to me, "Oh, Ruth, you're gonna try and lose 5 kilograms next week," I would feel myself kind of getting palpitations. I'd be like, "I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that sort of diet." Like, I'm just so adverse to feeling that uncomfortable. I don't mind feeling
genuinely
uncomfortable.
like I'm going to weigh in wearing 17 pairs of trousers, 85 jumpers, and I'll lose my 5 kilos because I've just taken them all off
Like
and
you're
I'll
going
weigh
on
in.
a flight and you're
Yeah,
trying to get on
yeah,
without extra luggage. You're just
yeah, exactly. It's not going to be fun.
no,
And as I say, the
no.
people around you are going to hate you because you'll probably hate yourself as well.
Oh, I mean, I'm bad when I'm hungry anyway. That hunger kicks
Oh,
in. So, um,
hunger is an emotion that you feel deep inside your soul.
yeah, and you know it. It's a bit like
Oh
PMT for
yeah,
women in the sense that you know you're
yeah.
being a bit of a dick, but just don't talk to me about it. Don't
Exactly,
tell me. Don't
exactly.
say
Don't
that
tell
I
me
use.
because I will snap at you.
I don't even like it if people mention it afterwards, going, "Oh, were you drawn or hormonal?" I'm like, too soon. Don't mention it.
Yeah, too soon. No, no, I was just hangry. Just use that when I was hangry.
Yeah, I was
Next
hungry.
time, next time, bring me food.
Yes.
You
Anyway,
see,
there we go.
you see your
Oh,
husband. They'll come in with like a croissant in the doorway and through the door like that. Is it throw it in the corner, see what happens?
he bought me a Belgian bun, Andy, last week, and I'd already kind of decided. I was like I normally have a cake at the weekend. Like I will
Mm.
get, and I love a Belgian bun, and I'd get one on a Saturday or something. But he bought one midweek, and I was like, I don't actually want it. And then
Yeah,
it became this
you've
like,
just you
but
you've just ruined my weekend Belgian bun.
well, that's what it felt like because I got round it in the end that I said, these Belgian buns. What about if we saved them until the boys' home? Because he bought two, one each. They're quite big, and I was like, and we halved them and had them as like pudding. And he was like, it's a shit idea, but okay, because he was like, I don't want to share mine.
Outside the box. Or what you could have done was they can share mine.
Yes, well, I should have done that really, but he's only little. He
Oh,
didn't need it all.
exactly.
Yeah, no, but it was, yeah. I was like, oh, how many women have that problem if they're trying to lose weight and then sabotaged by family members? Anyway, do you
That's
want to
exactly
do
it.
the honours, Andy?
As always, thank you for listening. It's been another podcast full of randomness and fitness knowledge. And if you would be so kind, if you've listened to this and you've enjoyed it, drop us a little rating wherever you get your podcasts. 5 stars is always nice. You can write whatever you want. You can write us a message, whatever suits in the information for it. But it just makes us more accessible and viewable by people that might need some help and some information. And as always, if you are listening to it, screenshot it, share it on your social media, tag us in it. Ruth is at Ruth Mac, that's MAC Fit on Instagram, and I am Andy_Wolfpack, and we'll hopefully catch you next week.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, ciao.
Bye. Bye.